So yeah, cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you do if you have to play with cold hands?
I play with cold hands. I usually I played it a little bit faster because we're a little bit short on time, and
Okay.
I usually take it a little bit slower. But what I find harder in this piece is to keep the left hand relaxed. I play
Yeah,
very
you're playing
tense.
with a lot of
Yeah,
pressure.
a
on the
lot,
left hand.
and I'm just trying to. By the end,
Yeah,
this
I can
is
see
always-
the blood flow. You know, your hands are red. on the
yes.
inside. So, well, one thing to think about in a crunch. Gloves if you have time, but that's not usually the best thing, and it can leave, if your hands are sweaty, then it'll leave lint on them, and then you feel like you have to wash your hands before you play. But I think the best thing is just to put your hands here on the carotid artery, because
Wow.
it's warm.
Yeah, it's really warm, but then it makes my neck really cold.
Well, when you start playing bar chords with your neck, then we'll worry about that. But you know, it's really there are two places where you have a lot of blood flow and it's really warm. You know, only one of which you can touch in public.
Yeah.
And this you can do. You know, you could sit there and you can talk to people a little bit. You know, if you really had to run right out on stage, you could do this and say, "Well, thank you for coming," and draw this out for a little bit. And I know it's cold. I'm cold too. And but let me tell you about the first piece. And, it's
Yeah,
a
this
little better.
actually
And
makes
then
my
you
hand
can
a lot warm.
then turn the other way. Because it's a lot of blood flow. They're big arteries. So.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other thing is to play more lightly and not worry about projecting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not to play so strong. You know, let the guitar do what it can do, and don't force it, especially with cold hands. So that's a little bit more important than tempo. I think just playing light. Now, have you ever done the towel under the strings?
Towel?
Yeah, put a towel under the strings and played.
No,
I don't have
I
one with
usually
me,
play
but-
with you mean to get more pressure on the strings?
Well, you know, I don't have it with me. I usually keep a towel to wipe off the strings, and like a terry cloth, cotton towel, but another benefit is if you put it under the strings, it mutes. Like if you're in a place where people are sleeping and you want to practice, it mutes it. There's another impact from doing that, partly psychological, it's partly acoustic, that doing that mute, you'll start to play more lightly. It'll relax both hands. You might just try that before, well, you wouldn't want to just try it necessarily right before a performance, but try it out sometime practicing. Play with the towel for like 15, 20 minutes. Then pull it out and see how you're playing.
He should have a mute that I gave him Christmas.
That's what I was about to say. That's whenever he said that. I
in
looked at
Japan
you.
they make this mutes that is like
It's
you
a
know,
sponge.
it's sort of it has the same effect as the towel, but it's actually a mute that you put underneath,
Yeah.
and it's like almost like a fake bridge kind of thing, and it makes the sound pretty much disappear. You know, it just doesn't make the action of the guitar to get too much high than what it is. As sometimes with the cloth, if you go like this, you run the risk to unless if you and you still can play in the same regions of the guitar with the cloth. Sometimes you lose a little bit of that space, right? So, but so
True.
he does have that.
I do have, but I mean, Alexandre plays until 3 o'clock in the morning without using one of mine, so I don't use it either.
Well, he's explaining another purpose for that. I'm sorry.
But my reason is less about muting and waking up neighbors, and it's more about how it impacts on your playing. I find that after doing that, I'm playing lighter. You take it out, wow, listen to the guitar now. And it's a psychological thing where now with all that sound, you don't have to work to make the sound. The truth is, that's how you should be playing all along.
Yeah, I'm very tense to play, always.
So
always very tense, both hands.
That's one of my suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to do that first, mute it for maybe even a half hour. And then you pull it out and you'll find you play more lightly. And I think in this piece, that would be a real help all the way through for endurance and other things. But even for clarity, I think it'll clean it up
To
in
play
terms of being more transparent.
lighter.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing is, and it's a musical thing, observation, that will help, I think, with playing lighter. And that is that I hear every note you play. And then I'm sort of listening like this
Yeah.
instead of like that. So, and your focus is starting to go that way instead of long phrase and linear. Could you just play the subject by itself? Yeah, they were all pretty much the same, but there's a real shape to that line. You try to play the shape, make the contour apparent to us who can't see the score.
No, but then the A.
Right. So I'm not saying that actually. So that all intervals aren't created equal.
No.
I was talking about this in the merits. But
Yes.
I think I said then it's true for every music. I think.
Mhm.
That we physicalize what really is physical when it comes. That's not physical. That we physicalize for people what's there, so the intervals that aren't wide, there isn't a big change.
So you think?
So what if you sang it? Could you sing it? Okay, you're kind of singing it like you play it, but I think going through it slowly. Recognizing, actualizing that leap downwards of a fifth. That's pretty big. And then carry that through. And then I heard, but it helps doing that. You're going to instantly find the voices are easier to tell apart which note belongs with which voice. So. Pretty easy to follow which one I want you to listen to. Because of that. It'll make it easier. The first thing in polyphonic music is control of dynamic of the notes, right? So this voice is important, that one's less. Yeah, but that's one part of it. But the nuanced part of it that will make it even easier to do that is shape. The more you can shape the lines, the easier it is for us to hear where they're going, which one's interesting.
So the bigger intervals, I should play them stronger.
Here's what I'd like you to do. Now sing the second voice, right? The answer to the subject. But it's see, you do naturally what I'm saying with your voice. Because it takes more effort to make that leap.
So maybe.
But where it's easy, that's easy. There's no effort. Yeah, will you hear what I was talking about? You know, there's effort in so the timing is different. But there's also amount of effort that changes the dynamic of it as well. So the shape. That's why I think we need the guitarist. We need to sing the lines more. Because your voice, you'll feel that effort in a way that I'm not trying to say make you into a singer or say that, it has to be even a good quality. You just have to get closer to the physical nature of the intervals, which is not always true here.
Hey guys, I need to just to let you know, we just have about 8 minutes before I need to return this room. So to know what I would like us to do if we can. I mean, it's just gonna give you still some minutes, but before everybody leaves, I'd like to see if we can get a group picture with Dr. Trent.
Oh, I'd love to have that.
Yeah, that would be
okay.
Nice. And because I know you guys have classes right after that, why don't we just he's gonna do some remarks and then we just take this picture and you guys are good to go. I really appreciate you guys who are able to stay the entire time. I know you're not supposed to, you were free to be doing something else before 2 o'clock, but as you could see, it's a very good opportunity. I do appreciate seeing that you get involved with your education, and it's very nice to have you all here. So.
Well, you spoke for me too. Thanks for being patient for my long-windedness and detail and things. So, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I do think also that I don't express the voices. I don't sing the voices well. In fact, whenever I play this, I usually get lightheaded because I don't breathe. I never breathe like a whole breath. It's usually very short. I can't do it. I mean, by the time I'm, about the development, I'm
even more reason to do this.
I just
even more reason to sing it because you have to. Your spelling errors you sing, you're going to have to take it in.
Yeah.
So if you could sing while you play, pick a voice. And you'll have to breathe, which means, well, it's what you're not doing. So. And you're going to connect with the melody, with the phrase, that much more deeply. And your fingers will follow that.
Yeah, my main concern with this piece is to be able to go all the way through without. I mean, after that, there's an allegro.
Mute or the towel. Play for at least 20 minutes, maybe a half hour with that. Take it out, you're going to instantly play lighter. Because what you're missing with the towel or the mute is the resonance. And so then when you play and it rings, you'll realize you don't have to work so hard. Now that's largely this hand, but we're not separated. Any tension in one part goes to the other. So therefore any relaxation is going to help with this one. The other thing you can do with the left hand is actually play the staccato all on the left hand. If they're open strings, like that's okay. Just practice releasing. You're practicing this,
I never release.
but you're not practicing the releases.
It's complicated because the more pressure I do here, I mean, by the middle of the piece, I'm already super tense here.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. The tension one place is not going to remain there. It's going to travel because there's no wall here between the left and the right side. So that's why I'm saying, although I was talking about the right hand, it's going to transfer some of that. And yet there's another exercise, which is play detached, release. And then after trying, you're already looser and more relaxed. Then after you've done that, now what happened is, see how I said they're connected, because he played staccato, he also played piano. Because he was really thinking the same thing here, you know. Now, here's the challenge. Forte here, but let's see if we can do that. You're even being more accurate, because the last time you didn't quite get to the beat.
Yeah.
This time you went boop, right to it.
Yes. I'm also
So it's an
trying
exercise.
to.
It's
Yeah,
not,
I'm trying to prepare this finger here to just, and instead of moving like this, just move the arm. But I'm still not very good at it. So
well, you know, I was saying earlier about thumb and elbow.
Yeah, I play a lot here.
You can pivot. You can pivot to some degree. Pivot as far as I can, and then release, right? And things like that.
All right.
Are we? Do we need to do the picture?
We
now
do.
And then,
Let's
okay.
do the picture. Thank you.
Right now.